Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This is not a review, but a video for the best movies of the decade. This is from 2011 to 2020 decade, but I have a little bit of explaining to do. I'll put this away for a second. Is that if you've never really heard of me or watched any of my videos, I watch movies mostly from 2000 forward that I've never seen before. And so I just keep doing research at the beginning of every month, making a list, trying to watch as many as on that list as I can during the month, and then reset it all again moving forward. So I do watch theater movies. I do watch lately things on Disney and Amazon and everything else that is provided to us. I do not put anything that I've watched on Netflix into my research and my lists and everything because I think of Netflix as kind of a separate entity that I never wanted to include into this project of my YouTube career and everything. So I never have swayed from that. I've watched way too many movies on Netflix to ever include them anyways. So there's no way of keeping track of what you've seen on Netflix. So there's that. This system that I've been working for the last couple of weeks on at the end of 2020 is to culminate a list of the best movies that I've seen. The way it kind of works is when I say a movie, like, I did my worst video, I said Sharknado, that pretty much means the series. So there might be a couple movies in here that, are from before 2000 or something like that. They're definitely not from the last decade, but that's just not how my system works. It's just movies that I've watched in the last decade. So a little bit of explanation there. I'll say this at the beginning of this video that if there's any way that you can think of for me to send you these complete lists, I have 72 on my worst of the decade and 437 of the best since I watched thousands of movies. And if you would like the complete list of these, if there's any way that you can think of for me to contact you, through Facebook, or if you want to leave your email in the comments, and as soon as I get it, then I'll delete it. If any ideas you have come across your brain, I'll be very happy to include you in my people that I send the complete list to. So I will be nice and give you the top 15, but the focus is the top 10, of course. The number 15 best movie I've seen in the last decade is the 2011 movie called The Help. I think most of us can agree that that movie came in a time where it is very inspirational and the message was loud and clear for treating people right and everything. And ever since 2011, it's just become more and more of an issue. So I think that was one of the first movies that kind of jump started treating people right. And hey, look at this story from history. Really great movie. Number 14 is the 2013 movie called Short Term 12. If you've never seen it or heard of it, I would advise looking it up. The girl from Twilight is in there. That's about all I can tell you right now, but I know it is up here. Most of these movies should be up here on my collection, so that's at least a good thing. Number 13 is the 2016 movie called La La Land. I know that movie is not for everybody, but it's definitely for me, being a music person. And I'm pretty much a sucker for music movies. And at the time, I was very much in love with La La Land. I think a little bit of that excitement has wavered after I've watched it a couple times, but still, it's very nice to listen to the music. And I think it's one of Ryan Gosling's only good movies because I usually don't like many of his. The number 12 best movie of the decade is the Guardians of the Galaxy series. I put down the 2014 one because that's when it came out, but it's this series, Guardians of the Galaxy. The number 11 best movie of the decade is the Deadpool series. So that brings us to the top 10. The next thing to explain is that yes, this is a top 10, but probably the top 30 or 40 or 50, any of those movies could be the top 10. It's just the way that I did things, the way that I kind of had to hurry to get this project done over vacation, which I only had about a week and a half of vacation. So don't take this completely to heart. Don't take anything, below 10 as, oh, that's like the best movie ever. This is just 10 movies that are outstanding. They happen to be written down in a certain order. So this is 10 of the best movies ever that I've seen, especially in the last decade. Number 10 is the 2018 movie Bohemian Rhapsody. For anybody who doesn't like this movie, I don't really understand, because I think it could be number one very easily for a lot of people. It's amazing. Queen's amazing. The guy won an award for playing the lead singer. So whatever you don't like about that movie, I don't really know what it is. It's an amazing movie. Number nine on my list of the decade best movies is an unknown. It is the 2012 movie called Wolf Children. It is one of the few Japanese made cartoon movies that I have ever watched, and I loved it. I don't know where this movie came from, how I got told about it or referenced it, but I've always loved it and I always will. It's very much a great movie if you want to look it up. Wolf Children. Number 8 is the 2004 movie Million Dollar Baby. I know it's kind of old, but movies like that need not be forgotten how good they were, and it makes the list. Number 7 is the 2015 movie called Inside Out. Yes, I have to have at least one animated movie up top here because a lot of them are really great. And if you've been on my channel for any kind of period of time, I like most of the animated movies that win awards. This last year was Onward. So I very much suggest being a fan of Inside Out. Is one of the first movies that was kind of made that explored feelings and stuff. And I think that's really great for kids to be able to watch movies like that. Then, number 6 is the 2017 movie called Logan. Obviously, it was one of the first really explicit superhero movies. Kind of more serious, a little bit more drama. But I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I have one of his Funkos right over here. And I just love the X-Men in general. But Logan is my favorite character. I think that movie was amazing. And I just think I love what they did with it and how that came out and everything. So the top 5, here we go. Comes first. I just did this video a little while ago. The best movie of 2020 that I watched is the 2019 film Ford vs. Ferrari. That just made the number 1 on my list if you go back a couple videos. And it blew me away. I know it was about kind of a different kind of racing, a little bit older of a time, but it's a little bit on the long side, but it's just an amazing movie. You really need to experience it at least once. I think that's really what's good for me, is I was able to see it once, I was amazed, and I am able to tell people about it. Number 4 is the 2013 movie called The Wolf of Wall Street. Another explicit movie, not for everybody, but what can I say about Leo DiCaprio? He's amazing, and he always will be. Some of his movies are just amazing, and Matt McConaughey is just, something else. So, I'm sorry. DiCaprio might not be in that. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've seen it. Movie's amazing. There you go. Sorry for the slip up. Number 3 is another unknown that I very much want to tell people about for the rest of my life. And I'm glad it made the list, especially up top here. It's a 2010 movie called Temple Grandin. Grandin is her last name, Temple. It's a girl, and I just advise looking up that movie, watching it, enjoying it, seeing what it's about, and makes the list at number 3 for me for the whole decade. Number 2, and pretty much with my system, the top 2 were the same pretty much qualifications as far as ranking, how much I liked them. It just depends on what you would actually watch. But I would advise watching at least one of these of the top two. Number 2 is a 2006 movie called The Departed. The most I remember about that is that I'm pretty sure it's Ben Affleck, and I'm pretty sure it's about cops of some kind. But it's been so long since I've watched it, so I definitely have it on my list to buy and rewatch again. It's called The Departed. And according to this list, my number 1 movie of the decade, and I do own it. I'll get it for you a second. When this movie came out, people like myself and my friends that were music kids in college, high school, everything, we cringed at this movie, but then you watch it and you experience it and you see what it was all about, and it was like, oh my goodness. And the final scene is something to behold. If you do nothing else, go on YouTube and click final scene of this movie and just watch it and just be in amazement at what happens. That kind of sucks if you don't watch the movie first, but hey, if it's the least you do and you're never going to watch this movie, you can at least do that. Best movie I've ever seen in the decade. I can agree with this because I love this movie. Miles Teller is one of the best actors. Every movie I saw of his, in my whole time of watching movies, I started keeping track of things. I liked all his movies, every single one. J.K. Simmons is a little different personality, but this is his movie. This is what he was great at. So if you have not seen this movie, yes, it has lots and lots of language. It has some other things in it, but it is amazing. Number 1. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I'm really looking forward to the new year. Again, if you trust me in any sort of fashion to take your information and send you the list of these best and worst movies, this is just a glimpse. I wanted to give you a glimpse on these 2 videos. I will do that. So thank you very much for subscribing. If you know anybody that likes talking about movies, send them my way. I'm 1 subscriber away from 80, and I'm 7 videos away from my 800th. 800th. There you go. And so I'm very excited about just being on here. It's been a crazy 2020, but in quarantine, I think I watched about 150 of my 300 for the year movies, and so it was just kind of a long year of sitting at home and watching movie after movie, and finally getting back to theaters, and then going to about 5 movies here at Christmas in theater, and creating this huge long list for everybody so you can enjoy. So thank you so much, and we'll see you going forward. Thank you. Happy New Year.